Welcome back, YouTube. Weather's cooled off a little bit, so we could get out here and try to cook a little bit today. It ain't real cool, but it's 80 degrees. That's better than what it has been being. But right now we can try to make up some brown gravy here and get it started, because it's cool enough. I want it to get outside and cook some. You don't want to get too much flour in there for the amount of grease I got. I want to get it right. I don't want it to be too thick, too thin. But we could try to cook up some deer steaks and maybe mix some deer sausage in this brown gravy and some deer steak and maybe some potatoes. But I went and sit this morning, but saw a deer to start with, but I didn't get to make it out. Didn't get to see the head to see what it was, and it went in that big pond in front of me and didn't never come out. So it laid down in that pond. And that was crack of daylight. About 10 o'clock, Doe and a yearling come across there, and they was kind of loping, looking back. So I figured something was behind them. They come on across and came in, and then I saw something coming behind them about 20 minutes later, about 10:20. And instead of the old big buck, it was that buck with the messed up horns. He got one side of his horns and missing the other side. So we passed up on him again. We ain't wanting him, we want him. I noticed some big old bucks in that area, but the rut's just getting started. They're in that pre-rut, I guess, right now. It's just as good as the rut a lot of times. They checking out the does, finding where they at. A few of the does may be coming in heat already. Like on one of my earlier videos from a couple of years ago, I had a 7-point on there, and he had already locked down on a doe and was guarding her off the other bucks. I think I called that buck guards his doe. That was on one of my earlier videos, and that was in September. And I know she was in season because he guarded her and 2 other bucks trying to come to her, and he kept them away from her, and she wouldn't run from him. But we could try to get this brown gravy going here. It's already starting to turn brown. Stir it a little bit, and I'm going to add my water to it. All right, we can go ahead and cut some of the sausage up into a little bit smaller lengths. Yes, I wash my hands. When I'm cooking, I steady washing my hands as I go from one thing to the other. But I'm going to get these cut up in little lengths. This is deer sausage. I'm going to drop that over there in that gravy. Then I'm going to cut up a little bit of this deer steaks and put that in there also. Alright, that gravy kind of simmering. You know, just let the spoon in there. It's kind of took all that flour from off of that spoon, mixing up good. As long as you let it boil, the more of that flour comes apart in there, and we'll mix in and make the gravy thicker. But if your gravy is not thick as you want it, you can always add a little bit more raw flour, and it won't make it no browner, but it will thicken up your gravy, and it'll cook and be done. It'll cook in that boiling gravy that's already in there. It won't be raw flour, it'll be cooked flour, but it'll just make it thicker. Go ahead and put these sausage in there, and then while it's cooking and boiling in there, be dicing up the potatoes. you talk about good gravy, I love gravy with wild game in it. With some onions. Man, them onions just brings out the flavor in it. But a lot of y'all, not all of you watch my channel for the fishing or the hunting. I've had some people that join because of the cooking, and sometimes I get asked to do a cooking video or something. This is just home cooking for me, how I growed up around here. Alright, we got the cube steak. I cut it up in little smaller pieces so we could get more of it in the pan at one time. We go ahead and flour it up there, get it floured, and we could drop it in the pan while we're waiting on them potatoes to start simmering over there. Alright, these taters are starting to get soft in there, so we could go ahead and put our onions in there and let them be simmering. Man, when them onions hit that thing, it starts smelling good. Go ahead and hit it with some pepper here. Get that pepper in there. Sometimes I like to throw a little red pepper in mine, but if I do that, then the wifey won't eat it. She'll take a little bit, but not much. But Nadine ain't gonna eat it if it's got any pepper. Put some salt. Easy on the salt, Junior. Easy on the salt. I love salt. Stir it up and let this simmer. We got the frying pan over there getting hot for the cube steak. But this eye on this side don't burn so good for some reason. It wants to keep a yellow flame to it. I tried cleaning that thing out and all that, but that's why I'm a fry on that side over there, because I can regulate the temperature better. We can let this here boil a while and get this here over here to frying, and we almost to get done. Alright, we getting ready to hit this pan with some of these steaks. Had the grease getting hot there while we waiting on that to start simmering. Should have let my grease get a little hotter before I hit it with it, but close enough. It's starting to fry there. You can hear that cast iron popping a little bit. It'll tighten it up. Flour ain't gonna come off of these cube steaks so easy. Now let's let it cook there a little bit, and then she's getting hotter and hotter. I could turn it up some. I don't want to get it too hot. Like you know, you get that cast iron hot, it stays hot for a minute. She's frying there now. Boy, that dead gonna be good right there. But sometimes I feel like Waylon Jennings. Just keep showing my hands. Very seldom do people get to see my face. But man, it smells good too. That right there make a puppy pull a freight train. Crispy and juicy on the inside. Crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. Finish cooking some more of it up. But look at that right there. Alright, YouTube, we got it done. But while I was out here cooking the wild game, Grace was in there and she was cooking some noodles and stuff. I think they call it pancit. And it's got the smoky sausage in there, pieces of pork chop. I think they call that right there a calamansi. Now I'm learning a lot of them Filipino words, and some of that there's pork. Probably pork cut off the pork chop. But we got the deer steaks done there, and got the rice done, and got the deer gravy done here. Where's my spoon at where I can dip down in there? With all the sausage, potatoes, and all that. It's a little thinner than what I like, but shucks, when I put it on this rice, it'll be good. Let me go ahead and fix my plate before the crew gets here, just to show you a little bit what it looks like. I like plenty of gravy to cover that rice. But anyhow, thought I'd bring y'all a cooking video. Had a few people asking me about them. But that's some of that wild game cooking there with the gravy and rice. Could have got the gravy a little thicker. Just hoping I get the camera just right, because that sun's going down. It makes things look darker or something or another, but it's not burnt, anything like that. Anyhow, that's going to be our dinner for today. Waiting on the other guests to get here so we can start eating and we could chow down. But man, I had it smelling so good around here a while ago when I put them onions in there. Woo-wee, make a puppy pull a freight train. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you the next time, YouTube.